Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. Today I am so excited to talk about finances. Oh my goodness, who's excited about this topic? I personally am. I have to mention I'm not good at dancing. I'm not good at singing, but I am really good at managing finances. Everything that I want to share with you guys in this video comes from an experience that I have learned over the course of 6-7 years or even 10 years now, ever since I started working on my own. Just a side note, I started working when I was 14 years old, and ever since then, I never asked any money from my parents. So this is how I started learning, taking care of my own money. In this video, I like to share all of my secrets with you guys, and I'm gonna talk about the credits, I'm gonna talk about saving money, I'm gonna talk about the daily bills as well, and I'll also show you, how I normally manage my finances. So now, just to let you know, the way I do take care of my finances are universal. Anyone can use it, even if you do have family or even if you do live on your own, anyone can benefit. First of all, I'm gonna say everyone has a different way when it comes to managing their finances. Some people do use apps. There's so many different apps now that you can find, on the phone, and then just download and use it. That way it will show everything, how much money you're spending, how much money is going out. So those are really, really good apps that you can utilize, in your daily life. But however, I personally like to use books. I personally like to use a pen and paper. That way I will stay focused, because sometimes, if I'm using the app on my phone, I do notice I get distracted. I do receive messages or something pops up on my phone, and I don't know, I just found that it was not that useful for me, for my case. But when I'm using pen and paper, I notice that I'm just focused. This is all I do. This is what's on my table. So this book right here contains my bills. It contains my credit cards, it contains my saving account as well. So first page of my book contains my monthly bills. Now we do use two different accounts when it comes to paying the bills, and we do have bills that we have to pay from both accounts as well. So on my first page, what I usually do is I do put the first bank and then also the second bank, and I do write all the bills that this particular bank account has to pay. At the top, I do use the total bill amount. So that way I know how much money we need monthly in order to be able to survive. I do write my apartment bills. I do write the internet. I do write some of the subscriptions as well. I do have the car insurance, electric bills, gym. I also like to use dates as well, so that way I know what day I have to pay certain bill from what bank account. Have a special page where you will write down all of your bills, how much money you have to spend, and what bank accounts you have to use, and also the dates as well. On my second page, you will see the credit card information. So we do have two different credit cards. Oh my goodness, guys, if you do have credit cards, or if you are willing to get a credit card, no, it's not free money. That's not. For me, it's good to have one or two credit cards, because it will build a credit history if you want to buy a house or if you want to buy a car, because companies usually look at the credit card history. That way they know that you do pay your bills on time. And some people actually like to use your credit cards, they purchase something and then they pay it off immediately. I can approve that technique as well. It's actually a really good way of managing your credit history. The way I do manage my credit card, I always do put the minimum payment to my monthly bill page, and also the interest rate as well. It usually depends depending on how much money I am paying for the credit. Sometimes I do like to pay the credit like with the larger amount, or sometimes I like to stick to the minimum if I do want to purchase something big. So it always varies, but the best option for me is to put larger amount than the minimum amount and pay it off as soon as I can. And I always write it down, you know, the balance I have, the minimum payment, and also the total balance as well, like how much money do I still own for the credit. And the same goes with my second credit card. Then I do manage my credit cards, you know, that way. Savings, let's go ahead and talk about the savings. This is my favorite part when it comes to finances, because I love putting money aside. Me and my husband, this is something that I'm super happy about us. We both are big savers. We love saving our money, but at the same time, sometimes spending it too, you know, if we want to treat ourselves with something luxury or something good. We have 3 different savings accounts. Yes, I have 2 debit, I have 2 credit, and I have 3 savings accounts. I do put whatever I can into those accounts as much as possible. Now, my very first immediate account, this is something that I have learned not long ago. That's so funny. If only I knew this several years ago, oh my goodness, we would never have to worry about having a struggle moment, you know, with my husband. And we had pretty tough times here, you know, when it comes to managing finances. It's because when I came here, I wasn't working, so he was the only one providing for the family, and it was kind of tough to manage all the bills and also other little expenses. Now, this is something that has to be considered in the family, whether it's only one person working in the family or 2 people or the whole family is working in the family. This has to be something that you have to start doing if you want to take care of your future. Your future, the safety of your future, is #1 thing more than anything else. I personally like to pay for my future instead of paying for credit cards, you know, instead of paying for other bills. I like to put money aside first and then spend the rest, because why would you do that? You know, why would you pay for other people and pay yourself last? My very first immediate saving consists of my emergency saving. This emergency fund consists of 3 months or more living expense gathered together. If I'm putting it together right, let's say if you do lose your job, how long does it take for you to get another job? Sometimes it takes months, you know, sometimes it takes years to get the same job or to get a better job than that. So you have to consider this option, so that way you will be safe if you ever lose your job, and you don't have to worry about, oh my god, now I cannot pay for my apartment bill, now I cannot pay for my car, you know. My goal so far is saving up this 3 to 6 months of my living expense, so that way I never have to worry about, you know, like paying the bills or, you know, going out and then buying the foods. This emergency fund has to cover everything: your food, your apartments, or, you know, if you do live in an apartment, of course, your car bills, all the bills. So how much does it take for you to survive, right, in a month? So you have to calculate all of that. For me, like for 3 months, I would say the ideal would be 10 to 15,000. If you, again, it depends on how many people are in your family. If you're on your own, it can be less than that. But if you are with 2 or 3 people, you obviously need to save a little bit more money than this. And the most ideal would be 1 year of living expenses, or 1 year of saving your living expenses. This is what I'm shooting for so far, and I'm telling you guys, this has been a life-changing thing that I have learned not long ago, and I'm like, I'm never the same again, you know. I'm even planning, like when we have kids with my husband, I'm actually planning to teach them how to take care of their future, you know, once they start earning their own money. If you do have kids, teach this technique, guys, because you will never regret. You will actually gift something that's priceless to them, so that way they know how to take care of themselves without you. All right, guys, the second saving account, by the way, is for the house. Again, this is our future plan. This is something that I have been doing for a while now. I have been saving for a house because I don't want to leave an apartment forever, you know. I don't. I came from a family where we have owned our house, and in my country, to be honest, almost 99% people, well, maybe it's too ambitious, 90% people owned your own houses. So, but coming here, I realized that, you know, you do live in an apartment, and when you do buy your house, it takes like years and years to pay off that house. I started doing it earlier than later, and I definitely want to own my house and don't live like a traveler. You know, right now we're living like a traveler. You don't see that good amount of furniture in my house, you don't see any decorations. So if only we had a lot of money, I would buy a house in Hawaii. But hey, that's a goal. The last but not least, this is my third saving account, and this is our splurge account. This is a place that I like to put as much money as possible, and this includes our travels, this includes our luxury expenses. Anything that's outside of our living expenses goes towards this account, you know, where we can actually treat ourselves with something good, or, you know, definitely travel, because traveling has been something, you know, that's our ritual, I would say, our tradition now with my husband. Every single year we do travel somewhere. We both like to explore new places, learn different cultures, and meeting new people. At the end of the day, you know, life is not about just making a living. You have to be able to work harder so that way you can see something outside of your little box. Definitely prioritize your you know, splurge savings as well. That way you can definitely, you know, go out and purchase the things that you want to purchase, and also explore the places, go out and do something different than just working to pay the bills. Oh, by the way, when you do your finances, make sure to use some sort of different notebooks, so that way you will be able to calculate all of your bills and how much money you do spare. You know, I like to use all these kind of little notes. I like to keep a physical copy of all of my finances and all of my calculations, so that way I don't get messed up. You know, if anything, I can always go back and then look at my book. This is all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. To be honest, it was a pleasure sharing all of these tips and techniques, and also sharing some of my secrets as well, so that way you will never be broke again. Make sure to be responsible about your finances, and to be responsible for yourself, for others, and for your future as well, so that way, you know, you will live the best life possible. Remember, we get only one life. Why not live it the best we can, and also never have to worry about you know, little things that can kind of distract you from accomplishing something big. So, all right guys, I'm going to see you in the next one. Hope you guys are having a great one. Make sure to make it the best, and leave me in the comment below if you do have any questions. It's my pleasure to answer all of your questions, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Oh, by the way, make sure to subscribe if you're new to my channel, if you do like skincare, beauty, if you do like, you know, finances. Oh my god, I do share a lot of things on this channel. That's amazing. If you do scroll down, you know, my videos, you will see a lot. Oh my god, there's a lot going on. All right guys, have a great day, and see you in the next one. Bye guys.